We're going to call to order the August 2nd, 2017 meeting of the Township of Lopatcong Township Council. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided, indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Moment of silence and prayer. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilman Delcaro.
Here.
Councilman Polito. Councilman Wright.
Here.
Council President Pryor.
Here.
Mayor McKay.
Here. Motion to come out of executive session?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Katrina?
Council was in executive session from 6:30 to 7:50. Topics of discussion are exactly as listed on your agenda. Phillipsburg sewer litigation, Larkin affordable housing litigation, Larkin tax appeal litigation, and tort claims notice. The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Okay. Motion to go into public comment. Agenda items only. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
My name is John Betts, and I'm at Berkeley Gardens at 225 Red School Lane, apartment Y14. I would just like to ask a question if I can inquire as to what is the special litigation being authorized for under item 3? Is that something that
Item number 3 on executive session?
No, on new business. It's resolution number 1792. It says authorized special litigation counsel in Gleason, Webster.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Katrina?
You can go
just
right
wants to
ahead.
know what the litigation is.
That's
Yeah.
all.
That's the sewer litigation?
Correct.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the sewer.
Sewer litigation?
Right.
And what does it pertain to? What kind of?
Our contract with Phillipsburg
Oh, okay. Okay, fine.
for sure. Treatment.
And then the other thing I want to mention real quickly is I'm glad to see the second reading is for the heating ordinance is on the agenda tonight. And I would hope everybody votes for it because we need it over in big floods. Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else? No, okay, take a motion to come out of public.
Motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Going into all business, approve the minutes to July 5th, 2017 executive session, 2 parts, and regular session. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay. The second part is going to be, the minutes that were submitted by Katrina. The first part of the line. Okay, so I'll roll call that. Councilman Delcaro.
Abstain.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Yes.
For the record, the minutes that were prepared by me were not provided to the clerk. She was excluded from executive session, so they're on file at my office. So if any requests come in, Beth will let me know, and I will redact them and get them out. That's where they're being kept. Actually, redacted copies were provided to the clerk's office, so they're being held on file, but I am keeping them in my office.
Okay. Item 2, ordinance number 1705, second reading and public hearing, to amend and revise and supplement Chapter 183, heat and rental properties regarding heat to rental properties. We have to go into, open it to public comment, right? So I take a motion to open the public comment on this?
I'm sorry, what we do, Katrina? We have a
Public hearing, right?
Hold the public hearing.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We're in. Basically, this was discussed last meeting. It slightly amends and revises the way we require properties, public rental properties to be heated. It moves around the time frame that they need to have heat. Okay, any questions on that? We can dig up specifics for you, but... Okay, no?
Essentially, the heat is going to be expanded
15 days.
15 days into May.
Right, into May.
Not the other way.
Not right, and just for the month of May. So, because as we had this past May, we had some cold
It's
nights,
cold May.
right, so this will help.
Okay? All right. Take a motion to come out of public...
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, now we have to take a vote to vote this ordinance.
Motion
Roll
to
call,
adopt.
please. Motion to adopt it.
I'm going to make the motion to adopt.
Okay?
Second.
All right, Beth?
Councilman Del Caro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. New business. Firehouse number 2 discussed the 1950 Jeep Willie Brush pickup truck. I don't know what that is, so somebody will tell me. I've seen the truck, but...
Yep.
Lou?
Yep, we have members from the fire department here.
How are you? I'm Assistant Chief Tim Weiss from Lopatcong Fire Company Number 2.
Good evening. My name's Tim Weiss also. We made it easy for you. I'm here on behalf of the membership of Lopatcong Fire Company Number 2 and President Nigro, who couldn't make it tonight. He had to work. I'd like to thank the council for the time before I even begin, and I'll start out with I'm not even here to ask for money. So hopefully this is nice and easy. Thank you, yeah. I'm here to ask the council to consider transferring the title of a vehicle back to the fire company. This has been done with vehicles in the past that were originally purchased by the fire company and used by the fire department. In asking for your consideration, I would like to give the council an understanding of the efforts made by the fire company to maintain the township firehouse and how the fire company spends some of our funds that we receive through donations. The vehicle we're discussing is a 1950 Willys Jeep, purchased used by the fire company more than 30 years ago. Over the years, the fire company made upgrades and repairs to this vehicle. They purchased an engine for it at one point in time, transmissions, and some other major items. And to the best of our recollection, the total cost that the fire company put into this vehicle over the years in purchasing it and trying to fix it up was about $12,000. All of that money came from company funds. The title was turned over to the township for insurance purposes only, and no other taxpayer dollars were ever used to maintain this vehicle. It was always done with funds from the company. Currently, the cost to keep the vehicle in operating condition is more than a fire company can afford to do. Some of the other major projects, just to kind of highlight what the members of the fire company have done with donated money that they've received over the years, on the township's building, is about 13 years ago, they redid the apparatus floor in the firehouse. That was a cost of $26,000, and that cost was split between the township and the fire company, each paying $13,000. Just recently, about 3 years ago, the fire company redid the men's room and the ladies' bathroom in the firehouse. They were upgraded to become ADA compliant for public use. The cost was $25,000, and the money came entirely from fire company funds. No taxpayer money was spent to redo that. A couple of years before that, we had a problem with the roof leaking in the building, and the cost to redo the roof was approximately $16,000. And again, that was shared between the town paid $8,000 and the fire company paid $8,000. In 2007. The fire company purchased a 2007 Ford F-250 pickup truck. The cost of that was approximately $20,000. And again, that was purchased with fire company funds, and it's used on a regular basis by the fire department for our normal operations. And again, that title was turned over to the township for insurance purposes, so it could be insured. Over the years, the fire company has taken on many other building projects at the township firehouse at no cost to taxpayers. The reason I kind of gave you a little history is I don't want people to think that there's some great gain for us by getting this Jeep and selling it, and it's some kind of a slush fund. All the money that we get donated by people in the township, we put right back into the building, and in some cases, we have even purchased particular pieces of fire equipment at the end of a budget year. Somebody needs a piece of equipment or whatever, we realize that the town's budget is stopped, or maybe we don't have a budget per se operating yet that we should be tapping into. We use that donated money for that reason. The fire company's been attempting to bring the Willys Jeep back to running order, but find it a very high financial burden. Currently, the vehicle is no longer operated and would not need to be replaced. With our fund drives not producing income that they have in the past, we are seeking permission from the council to have the title of this vehicle turned back over to the fire company so that we could take the steps to sell it. The money from the sale will be put back into the fire company account and used for future projects at the township-owned firehouse. Unless anybody has any questions, I just want to thank council.
Where do you think the sale would realize?
We really don't know, because we really haven't put it out there, but we have had people, you had one guy that gave you a number.
I had someone give you a number of 2,500.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about, it's probably not the kind of thing, because it's not even an original vehicle anymore. When it was redone many years ago, I think somebody said there's a Chevy engine in it, and, some other parts that guys were able to make work. So it's not like we would be selling a classic vehicle, if you will, for lack of a better term. But in our next project on the plate in the firehouse is doing the floor in our meeting room, which we're looking at tiling that floor, and that probably costs us $6,000 or $7,000 without even batting an eyelash. So,
Let me ask you this. If the township compensated you for this, if we were interested in using it for our own use, we would need a little time to see how we would pay for it. Is this something you have to do tomorrow, or can you give us a little time?
No, it's been sitting for quite some time, so it's not a emergency.
We're not sure. We may be able to tap some grant money. I don't know. At least some people feel it might be a neat addition to the park. It's got a classic look, whether it's classic.
No, and it does. The only thing that I would suggest is that if anybody thinks that they're going to use it to do whatever in it, they should come over and try to sit in it. Because people were a very different size then. And it is very, very confining trying to drive it, and the seat doesn't move.
We have some big guys.
There's some options. No, I'm not, believe me, I'm not picking on them. They make me look good.
I'd ask, can you give us a meeting?
No, nobody's asking for a response at this point in time. This is our first step in speaking to the council, and we understand.
I don't speak for all council. There's been a suggestion that perhaps we compensate you for it. Or maybe there's another way we can do it. I don't know what your schedule is for your improvements. Maybe we could work something out there. I don't know. I'd like a month for us to maybe look at the vehicle, see what we can do with our finances, and maybe we can do something in that range you're talking about.
Okay. That's all we can ask for. All right.
Does anybody object?
No, I think that's a good idea. I mean, it's been in town for 30 years now?
Yeah.
Seen all the parades, right?
So it has a history to it. I know it was a parade Jeep, and won a lot of trophies over the years. You can see them in the firehouse.
Well, the thought was light use, like in the park, it would be visible to the people there and so on, so.
Well, I would imagine that Beth would have Tom Nigro's phone number? Yes, because Tom is actually the company president, so she would be able to deal with Tom. I'll report back on what transpired tonight.
Yeah, I think the
we're
first
not in
thing
any rush. We want to
got
get an answer.
Let our CFO get back from vacation. There may be a grant path, there may be other paths, so we have to explore that a little bit.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's on hold. Second item, the soccer director wishes to present an Eagle Scout project for a shed for placement at the park.
I just got a couple of these. Hi, good evening. I am Wimmer Merschma. I'm with the LAA, and I'm the soccer director. I started the job of being the soccer director back in March of this year, and one of the problems that we have is we are very short on space in terms of where to put our stuff, especially with the recent separation of the LAA and the town. There's a fair amount of equipment, like the paint and whatnot, so the soccer program is basically being pushed out as a byproduct of that. So we're very interested in putting a shed up that will house our equipment, our uniforms, the balls, the nets, all the stuff that is currently stored in the field house, so we would be completely out of there. What I'm giving you here is basically a sequence of what has taken place, and there's a gentleman called Evan Baylor, who is a candidate for Eagle Scout, who's going to be the project manager of this, and I've been working with him and his scoutmaster and his dad to put a plan together in terms of what to do. So what we're looking at here is we have looked at a location. I've spoken with Brian Weeks about that location and also with Mr. Paul Sternberg. And we looked at drainage and all the other things, and we picked a spot that was apparently approved by them. I do understand there is a concern by the council that we might have sheds all over the place and begin to look like a shed farm. So I'm basically saying I'm certainly open to the council coming back and saying, you know, yeah, we don't mind having a shed, but we don't like the spot, we prefer someplace else. So just let me know if that turns out to be the case. There's no problem there. The location, I put a picture in the front there. There's two soccer fields that we have with Rose Lane path behind it, right in between the two fields where it says Amy Street, but on the side of the soccer fields is a flat spot, and that's been approved by both the Brian Weeks and Paul in terms of putting it there. There was another spot that was also looked at, which was by the softball fields. There was really no good reason to go one way or the other. We kind of preferred this because it's closer to the soccer fields. We're going to put this shed up. It's going to be a commercially purchased shed, so we're not going to build it ourselves, so you're not going to have kids out there with equipment and whatnot. We do know that we have to put a foundation in 6-inch rock, 6-inch cement. Right now, we're looking at a maximum of 15 by 15 feet, probably smaller than that in terms of what we're going to buy, and it will be one that needs to be primed and it needs to be painted by the scouts. Let me see, I've given you the external design. Basically will be a plain commercial shed, very much like you've seen in the past. It will be painted in the colors of the field house so that it'll look like it's part of the overall design. Internally, we're going to put in just shelves and a table for a work service and whatnot, and maintain all the equipment there. Cost to the town, nothing, so that's not a problem. We just want to agree that this thing will be built there. Community support. We have gone out and asked people, especially in the soccer community, whether or not anybody who is a local crafts individual who would like to do the work and put some of the cement in the ground and whatnot. And as of right now, we haven't received any takers yet, but I have been talking with Brian, who has suggested some people that we can use for putting the cement in, and I'll be taking advantage of that, I'm sure. That's pretty much it. Do you have any questions on this? I don't know what else you might...
The young man's role is as a project manager.
He's a project manager. He might, what I'm trying to avoid is I really don't want this thing to be slave labor in terms of beating these kids up with a lot of work. So I've already told them, I said, you know, I really want you to be, I don't want you to go out begging for money or anything like that. I don't want that to be the kid's role. I want him to really see what a project manager does, so that's the role that he's taking on.
Brian met you out here. Would you mind if I asked Brian to come up?
Not at all.
When the proposed location is where? Is it where the equipment is now, west of the
The future location, talking about?
the location you're proposing?
Yeah, right, here's the picture. I put a circle there.
If you know where the Veterans Monument is, right?
Yes.
Where that wall is. There's a road behind it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, if you follow that road up and around, is the first soccer field.
Yeah.
Go around the bend, there's a space in between that and the next soccer field.
Uh-huh.
All right, and they're gonna put it up by the road area, all right, up in there, and
So it's far removed from the pavilion and the...
it's
and
far removed from
rally
the
point.
pavilion, far removed from anything that you're gonna build down below. It doesn't interfere with any of that.
Yeah.
And what it does do is, I actually agree with them. They have to carry everything in the cars or everything to go all the way up to them fields. All right, right now you got baseball's got a shed, football's got a shed, You know what I mean? And then you got your, everybody's got a shed with soccer, kind of has to bring everything all the way up every time.
I know, and the comment about the shed farm, I think the only concern we had, is this it for the LAA? Because if they needed another one, we'd rather see a dual thing built than, another separate shed, but...
I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't know, but...
In all honesty, I don't speak for the LAA in
Yeah.
total, so I don't know of anybody else that's, there's no other program that
Yeah.
I know of that,
Well, I know they were looking for a,
historical laws at some point.
well, I don't know about all that, but I know they were looking for something for the maintenance for their equipment. Right now, the line painter, stuff like that, still at the garage.
I don't know how anybody else feels. I mean,
But I don't know if
I'd rather see a dual shed built and be done with it than have another request for a shed.
Well, then
3
it
months.
would be safe to say then you should increase the footprint on it.
I want to be cautious if you're going to go in that direction, because the spot that we picked will not require a lot of heavy vehicle traffic or anything like that, because, contrary to other sports, we only go to the shed like once every 6 months or so to put stuff in or to take it out. We don't go there for every game.
Right, but as Brian was speaking, LA will need some maintenance equipment, right? And they need a storage place for
Well,
that.
if we fix up with the, whatever you want to call it up there, where all stuff's stored now. It's a field house. And you can get a lot of that out. They have the actual garage that you can use as a maintenance garage.
So what's in the garage now?
Well, it's football stuff, it's soccer stuff, it's baseball stuff.
Yeah.
It just needs some law and order, and that's what they're trying to do.
And I'm getting out, basically.
So that's what I don't know if you say no one, but I can't say no.
Yeah, I don't want to overcomplicate this thing. You have a boy, a young man like that who has a project, he wants to do it. You have a need, you have an immediate need.
No, I see
I'm
Joe's
always
point.
with the site.
He's looking towards, the growth here.
My reason for interjecting there was, I wouldn't want, if you guys have like heavy equipment that has to be going in and out of this thing, that's a spot where that really doesn't lend itself to heavy traffic going back and forth. That's my concern when you ask that question.
The only concern I have with the whole thing, and it's something, they're gonna have to figure is, find a nice dry day, some days, get across the road with a cement truck or whatever, or you're gonna have to truck it up with the trucks. One way or another, you're gonna have to get it up there. All right, but that's for them to figure that out. I mean, they make smaller trucks, that carry 2 yards or 3 yards instead of 10 yards. All right.
Is this something you need right away?
No.
Well, because maybe you should talk to LAA, see what their input is on this well.
I covered it with Kenny Lutz,
Right.
let him know what I was doing. I asked him if he had anything else, but in all honesty, I don't think I'm speaking for him at this point. I mean,
Right. Because if this can be done in a joint effort.
Well, I know they have some plans, Lou, and I can't speak for them. I can only speak for
Right.
what I've been told. Okay?
Right.
And it can change already. All right?
They know you're doing this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're with it.
Yeah.
But they want to take the shed, and that's by the field house, and they want to move that. All right, and they want to put in a baseball hitting plate, cages and different things.
You know what?
So there's some things they want to
I
change.
mean, they're talking about moving a shed, and it's a different architecture and
Right.
everything.
So there's some plans that's what
I
they're
have
going to start.
I have no problem going back and, getting Kenny to, I don't know, send you something.
The worst you can say, no, we have no interest, this is your business, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
If not, that maybe we could work something out as a, together, as a joint effort. That's all. And that's why I asked.
Part of my schedule has to do with the scout. He was at the National Jamboree, obviously being extremely well informed by the president, who gave a presentation of the Jamboree. But he's kind of like really preoccupied with some of these activities during the summer, and he'll be home shortly.
When would he be looking to start when?
I would say that August was the time frame we were looking at getting started, but I don't want to do anything until I get approval from everybody, including Bob Bishy giving me the, concrete information on the budget that I have in order to work with. I know what the money should be, but I want him to come and tell me, you have exactly this much. I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row at this point. I would love to begin middle of August if I could. But I mean, begin means putting the foundation in and stuff like that, going out and purchasing the shed, and, you know.
Well, you know, my suggestion, just to get this moving, I mean, I would offer to give conceptual approval on the site tonight, and then your young man could go out and decide what he decides is the shed he wants to purchase. You would submit a catalog cut to us. We'd say, oh, that's the ugliest thing we've ever seen, or that's acceptable. We would have a quick turnaround there. He could do the purchase, and he could just proceed, so...
Yeah, we would keep you appraised of everything, and I would be more than happy to show, you know, Brian.
We're generally concerned with the location, the dimensions, and the look, right? So that it's not out of character.
I was thinking of putting my picture on the side of the shed.
I think the location's a good location. It's tucked away.
It sounds like, I know where you're talking about. It's out of the way, it doesn't interfere with anything else.
Right.
And I would say I'd like to give the
No, that's fine, I have no problem with
permission to
that.
go ahead and
Let's get started.
start the process figuring on that location.
Will do.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Item 3, Resolution Number 17-92, authorizing special litigation counsel in Glacier Webster, Wasikala, and Taylor LLC to enter into a mediation retainer agreement. As previously mentioned, this has to do with the sewer dispute with Phillipsburg. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Resolution number 1796, authorized award of contract, the South 2nd Street project to Cefelli for the alternate bid in the amount of $128,980. Do I have a motion?
I'd like a little explanation on the first, if we could. There's a bid tab, and there's alternate, and so on.
Right, so this project was originally bid a few months ago. It came back in over budget. So the project was reformulated and rebid to split out the concrete work. That was bid separately. And then the milling and overlay pavement work is going to be purchased through the county co-op. I believe that's the Morris County Co-op. Basically that allows the township to purchase the work for the paving at a lower price based on the agreement that they have. So basically that's what's being awarded today is the amount of $128,980 is to Cefelli contractors for the concrete work, sidewalk, curb ramps, and other items that they would do. And then once they're done, then Tilcon under that county co-op will come back and do the milling and overlay on South 2nd Street.
We're putting in sidewalks for the full length on one side, or?
There is some, I don't believe it's full length, I have plans here actually. There are some sections of curb ramp replacement, reconstruction for ADA compliance. And then there's some spot curb repairs being done, but it's not a wholesale sidewalk reconstruction or replacement.
Okay, so it's mostly repairs?
Yeah, spot repairs and upgrades for accessibility.
And do you know the grant amount we're getting from DOT on this?
That I don't.
Let me ask you in a different way. Do you have an estimate for the milling and overlay?
Yes.
For the whole project, right?
Well, the mill and overlay, the amount that's being awarded for mill and overlay is $82,717. That's on the next resolution, 1797.
Okay.
So that portion is being awarded separately.
130, so the project is 210 construction, plus or minus. And what was the original bid? You don't know that.
That I don't know.
What, 210? The base bid was for the whole project?
Correct. So the base bid that Cefelli offered, that would include the mill overlay.
Yeah, so we're saving 40-something grand
Right.
going this way.
Right.
And I know there is a local aid grant, I don't know the amount.
Yeah,
though.
I
I don't have that amount.
think you're right in saying there was a grant to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is being, if the council feels it's appropriate, if these resolutions are approved and adopted tonight, then this is going to be sent to DOT for approval for that grant funds, those grant funds.
Well, we do have a grant, it's the second time we did it, correct? And, did we cut anything out of the project, or just, break it up like
I
that?
don't believe so, I think it was just broken up.
So we're getting the same project for less money?
Yes, that, you remember the grant for this project? Do you remember the grant? I'd like to say like I'd like to say 150. but-
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it.
Either between 120 and 140.
That sounds like
Yeah.
the classic range.
It's the classic
Yeah.
range,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
3210, all right, so, I mean, it sounds like a pretty cost-effective project for the town
Yeah,
at this
and
point.
it's
And we've been already invested in it. All right, the motion is to award this bid for 128?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
And
Yes. And the accompanying resolution 1797 to authorize payment to Tilcon for $82,717.50 for milling and paving and other improvements. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Mikel?
Yes. Okay, you see before you next the consent agenda comprised of 8 items. I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Can we please have a roll call?
Yes. Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Mikel?
Yes. Council reports. Mr. Wright.
The only thing I have is, I met with Sheriff McDonald from the Warren County Sheriff's Office Monday. He asked me how we were doing with the Project Lifesaver. Does anybody know what that is?
I don't know, something to do with bracelets or emergency
Yeah.
bracelets?
I didn't know anything about it, so I contacted Ms. Stilson after we hadn't received any paperwork on it that the sheriff sent out. I'm not sure if anybody got anything on that. Apparently not. So I asked the sheriff to email me his request, what he was looking for. So I got an email today, dated May 18th, 2017, to the Honorable Thomas M. McKay, Mayor, to this address here. And it says, most of us know someone who has either Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, Down syndrome, or other conditions. Apparently, Project Lifesaver is a non-profit organization, and they give out bracelets to our residents in our town. Bracelets cost anywhere from $650 to $800. And the sheriff's office has, I guess, I'm not sure how they got it because I really don't know too much about this. They identified 3 or 4 people in our town that could use one of these bracelets, and they were looking for a donation for us to possibly buy 1 or 2 bracelets. Mayor, did you get this by chance?
Can I see it? I don't recall. I don't remember getting it.
I don't know if it was an email or mail, I don't know.
That's not an email, right? Well, it
I don't
could
know.
be attached to an email.
Yeah, it might have been attached.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I'd like to look into this a little more and find out about it. Maybe it's something we want to look into, helping out the sheriff's office. And then tonight, by chance, the police chief gave us a copy of different calls they had for this month. And if you look down on that sheet, number 5,000 is found missing persons. And we have 3 listed there for this month. Chief, would you happen to know if there's anybody with anything that possibly could be like Alzheimer's or something like that, or whatever?
Without knowing what specifically those 3 cases are, I do know this month we had that very instance arise. It was a very hot day, very humid, ended in a good result. But this person that I'm thinking of would certainly benefit from a bracelet like that, yes.
Bill, if you ask the sheriff's department, Sheriff McDonald and Lisa from his office who runs the program, I saw them do a presentation in Washington Township at their council committee meeting, and they bring up the bracelet and they bring the thing and they'll do a whole thing. If you were interested, he'd come in.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, so it's something I'd like to look into for us, but,
So the bracelet is a tracking device?
apparently they wear it all the time, and the subject turns up missing or wanders off.
Is it chip?
Yeah.
Right, so GPS,
Okay.
right?
So, if you guys
Just
don't
like your
mind, I'll
phone.
look into it, but I don't have enough information about it.
It's more or less of a tracking device. I know the family that I'm speaking about or thinking of was looking at different options because they're kind of at a loss for where to go next, and we gave them some resources to reach out to. But this is certainly a benefit that they could look into.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's about all I have for my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pryor?
2 things. We met with Mrs. Roncaroni from the Board of Ed, and we had a discussion about joint services with using their IT talent. We use a consultant for some of our work. Lori's been a volunteer up until now, but we'd like to relieve her of her duty. She would like to get on with her life at the end of the year and, focus on other things. There's potential. There's things we have to work out yet. We have to make sure that what the school board uses, it meets our standards for uptime and security and so on. And we were going to move over to a different platform for our website, someone to do the updating and so on. So it's a work in progress. We probably need one more meeting to see if it's feasible, and we hope to have that nailed by next meeting, one way or another. The other thing is, last meeting I passed out some plans for our rain garden. The next step is a memorandum of understanding between Lopatcong and Rutgers, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it says Rutgers will basically do the survey, the design, the drawings, provide funding for the installation through a William Penn grant, oversee the installation, conduct a follow-up inspection, and replace plant material, pretty much turnkey. Lopatcong has to provide project approval, feedback, and direction, and we have to do the excavation. They're looking for us, Brian, to use our backhoe to do the heavy lifting over there. And we have to dispose of the excavated soil. And we put the soil in. Agree to water the rain garden after installation and assisted maintenance. I guess there was one question with the location of the one garden. You think it might interfere with a buried septic tank, an abandoned septic tank, or?
Yeah. That's still down there, but you're not far down there. Sorry about that, guys. Just get a little more information.
All right.
The one you're looking to put by, right there, as you walk in to the right. The other one you're looking to put to the left.
Right.
The one to the left is the concern.
Yeah.
There's an old septic system that was in there, I'd say 12 years ago, maybe, close to 13 years ago. It was changed over and put onto the city.
That was around Steve did that.
Right, right when we started.
It failed.
It failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know what we have there, is what I'm trying to tell you. We can open up a nightmare, we can open up, you know what I mean? I don't know how deep it is. I'd have to, really do some digging there.
Well, you know what, I could probably work that out with them. We could agree to proceed on the one and investigate if, do a little test pit and see if it's a problem on the other.
I know I have a water pipe that comes through there about 4 feet deep.
Well, they can work around that.
Yeah, but I didn't know where the tank is.
You're all familiar with the proposal. What I can do is, I distribute the MOU tomorrow, the plans you've seen, that I'll email those out. You've seen the rendering. I would like at our special meeting to decide, to give this guy direction or not.
Is your goal to do both?
I think if we did one, that would probably accomplish his objective and ours, and maybe I can raise the issue. Maybe we can amend this to do one and kind of a pilot thing.
Okay.
But I'd like to, our special meeting is when? 17th. Maybe if we could put that on the agenda to just execute the MOU, and I'll talk to him in the meantime. And,
Okay, we got your back, whatever you need.
yeah. And that's it for now.
Okay.
Mr. Belcaro?
No report this month, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. And as you know, I submitted a different report than I normally give. This is a more in-depth report that I submitted through the review. So rather than going through the normal ones that I do, I gave you all a little bit more information to look at for the month of July. I will give you a report for our traffic and arrests for the month, though. We had 11 criminal arrests or other offenses. Traffic violations that were cited were 27 moving and 64 non-moving violations. And again, for the month of July, we had 15 crashes with 1 injury reported. If you had a chance to review the other report that I gave you, if you have questions about that, feel free to ask. I'm not prepared to answer any questions about any specific cases, but those are the incidents that occurred throughout the month of July.
What am I looking at here, Jason? I see total events, and then there's digits.
Time frames, shifts,
right? Those are the 3 shifts?
Yes.
Yeah, to the right, it would be the times. To the left is just a classification code, how it's documented in our records management system.
And the animal complaints go through you, through the department?
We handle a lot of animal complaints, yes.
It looks like the department's been pretty busy.
What would be an example of a non-criminal investigation?
Sometimes there's civil disputes that occur, tenant-landlord disputes that we sometimes get involved with, just to more or less mediate and keep the peace. And that's something that we would handle on a routine basis.
Okay, great.
Also, as you know, yesterday we had our National Night Out. It's something that we haven't done in a couple of years now, and we're trying to bring it back. and I think last night was very successful, but it wasn't for the efforts of all involved. Our emergency services all came together, fire, the police department, our rescue squad, many of our local businesses. They were overwhelming in their donations. So we had a great support from the community, and overall it was a great night. So we plan on having it on an annual basis now, and keep moving forward from there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for having that event going, or restarting again.
Very welcome. Yeah, it's I think it's great for the community. It brings everybody out, and gives a stronger bond to the community. So we'll keep moving forward with that. Coming up in August, towards the end of the year, or at the end of the month, August 18th through September 4th, we'll be picking up enforcement with the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. That's again an annual campaign that is put on by the state. So that is my report for the month of July.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks.
Okay, next, approve other, no, do we have any more department reports? Does engineering? No? No. You have no report? Okay, anybody else have a report? No. Okay. So then we'll approve the department reports, take a motion to do that.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Valcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Michael?
Yes. Now we have the approval of bills. And I just got this list, so...
This is the same list that was emailed earlier, Beth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, in total, the bill list aggregates $2,819,136.47. And we sent $1.6 million up to county. That's why it's one of the reasons it's so big. And we had a tax levy for the school that was over $1 million, so it gets up there. I'll take a motion to approve the bills list.
I just wanted to point one thing out. There's an additional list here attached,
That I have?
and that's for gasoline charges for $49,852.91. Also the payment to MetLife and pensions.
Wait a minute now, I don't know what...
I'm sorry, Beth, what were they again? Do we have that?
You have it,
Very last page.
and I just want you to, not approve that just in case it's not needed.
And you don't think that's in that total?
It says additional 8217, so I would believe it is not included.
Okay. So, then in addition to what we just stated, there's $49,852.91 of gasoline and the State Division of Pensions and Benefits expenses.
It's health insurance and dental insurance.
Now I'll ask for the motion to approve bills.
The mayor's attorney's fees are not in here, correct?
Oh, that's correct.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the bill list.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Valcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Michael?
Yes. Okay, take a motion to open to audience participation.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, audience participation is open. Oh, all in favor? Aye. All right, we're open for audience participation.
Just one question. I was here, everybody wasn't paying attention. Did you councilmen do the consent agenda tonight?
Yes.
Okay, and it was like just all of them at once.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
Bring that ordinance through. Thanks, guys, for the e-ordinance. Thank you.
Come on up, Roy.
Sorry, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, so I have to pull my brain a little bit. They were budgeted for two things to happen this year. One was the firehouse parking lot. All right, we went out and got some quotes on that. All right, we kept it down to where we need to be. I don't know where Bernie finds that money and where he put it, but the quote came in around $7,000 to redo the whole parking lot over there, and I had Paul Sturbridge come in. He was happy with everything. All right, going down deeper. We're going to go out about 30 feet out on your two bays where the heavy trucks are.
30 feet from the building, come
From the
out?
building out. Put down,
Only 2 bays?
just the two bays, because the other ones feel that it's doing okay. We're gonna put down 5 inches of, base and then 2 top, like, you know what I mean? He said, that'll carry anything you got. But they feel the ground's shaking too much underneath there and giving us too much clay. So we're gonna put a base of stone underneath and then bring it up.
So how deep are they going total?
12 inches.
12 inches is
12
enough?
inches deep, yeah. No, I had Paul Sturbridge out there, we went over the whole entire thing. He was more than happy with it, he said that's what we need, and he was perfect with it. All right, if you want to sit and go over it with me, I'm not asking for permission, I'm just letting you know where it stands at this point. I gotta go with Paul, or not Paul, but Bernie, and figure out where we put that pot of money and whether we have to do a resolution or whatever we do to get it.
How long would this project take?
Well, the reason we went with it, if we go with the one that I went out with Hicks Paving, I went with Pips, and I went with All Image. Okay, All Image blew them out of the water, but one of the other differences is All Image is going to come down and mill your driveway down. Okay, the others just want to put on top. All right, which was going to cause a water issue and things running back towards your building.
Right.
All right, so I was very happy with that aspect of it. How long it's going to take? A couple days. All right, I'm going to, you know what I mean, I'll give you an exact when we get there. You'll have to move those trucks out.
Right.
All right, you know what I mean, and I'll plan it with you.
We're looking at this year?
I hope to get it. Right now, what's happening is because all the rain and everything that took place,
Right.
everybody's like backlogged. But I've got to call into him, and I called him again, and
Well, obviously before
I'm
winter,
waiting.
before winter comes, so those trucks will stay
That's
outside.
100% of the goal. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to let you know, and then when, you know, they're here, that it is in motion.
Right.
Okay? You know, that's where we are with that. The other one is, $8,500 was given for the field house to be redone, just the kitchen area. All right, I pulled in for, 3 quotes, makes it under the, threshold for, we need that, for, you know, going out. I just need 3 quotes, okay? So, I'm meeting with the guy tomorrow to do some final looking at the contract, what we need to do, some different things. I have 4 quotes on that. One came in at 25, one came in at 20, one came in at 12, and one came in at 84.
Wow.
All right, I think what it amounts to is who wants to help the town and who wants to make the money for the, you know, for their pocket. All right, because I think they give a lot, is what I'm trying to say to you, you know what I mean? The cheapest came in was Maury, M-A-U-R-Y. Jim's his first name. That is put into my operating expense, and I just wanted to let you know, and I guess let you know or ask, is it okay we move forward in that direction? Are you okay with that? What we're doing is we're basically gutting everything out in the kitchen, making it a one complete system. All right, big open room, and then make it all up to code, up to spec. I met with the LAA, met with Kenny Lutz, met with the people who work in the kitchen, all right, and made what they want. They're supplying the table benches coming in, all right, all gonna be stainless steel. All right, so the LA is putting money into it also. All right, so that we can, do other things and stuff. The roof's gonna be, not the roof, but the ceiling's all gonna be, changed 5/8. The old heating units there is out. The floor is gonna be all brand new, commercial tile. All right, all the hood lighting's gonna be up to spec, and it's gonna be all LED lighting that we need, except for the one over the grill. All right, so that, they don't go bad as much, that. All right, they last a lot longer, they're not like these. But, I gotta meet with the inspector and everything, but, I wanted to let you know if it's okay, we can move forward on that. All right. They need it done by September 1st. That's the issue, because football starts. And the gentleman, tell me a week or two. All right, it's the time frame they need, so.
To get it done?
To get it done.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, in and out.
Maybe I'm having a senior moment, maybe somebody can help me out there. Have we discussed this before?
Yes.
I guess we did at budget time.
Budget time, you put it in the budget for it.
Yeah,
Put it in the
okay.
budget.
And Bernie put it in my office.
We had a lot of stuff going on, and maybe I just forgot about that already.
It
I
was-
didn't remember.
Yeah, it's been approved, it's under the
And it's in the
DPW,
budget, yeah, okay.
so. Okay? Okay. Lou, I'll be talking to you, some thought process a little bit on both sides. All right?
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Any others? I see a hand, I can't see what is up. Jim?
Jim Mangucci, Belvedere Road. Good evening, council. I'm certainly not here to stop an Eagle Scout project or anything like that, but one of the things, as I ride around, there's a multitude of things we need to do in this township. And one of the things is the park. We did that park back in 2006, as you see it today, with the exception of the rally point. I think it's a great thing up there. I've been up there for the music, seen the pavilion being used, seen movies at the pool, seen people walking around, seen the basketball courts being used, but I think it's time to maybe get a committee together to take a look at putting a permanent structure up there. Maybe I'm a little paranoid working for the school district. We just got rid of 43 trailers throughout the school district, and as the gentleman said earlier tonight, we certainly don't want to turn it into a shed palace up there. Storage is an issue. I think one of the worst things up there is when you look to the left of the rally point, you see the soccer goals just more or less thrown in that area there, so it might behoove us going forward to take a look at something more permanent up there, maybe with a concession stand up around the ball fields. Certainly the concession stand at the football field house is not conducive to the soccer fields or the softball and baseball fields up there. Again, everything takes money, but I'm all about doing something permanent that, if you put up a block building up there, wrap the soffits, get yourself some storage in a concession stand, it'll be there 40, 50 years, just like the pool was. As some people 50 years ago, had the foresight to put something like that up. And I've seen this township rally before around our kids. I would be more than willing to head up a committee to take a look at it. Get a hold of Paul Sturbins, maybe a couple members from council, the mayor, just to see what it is we need to do going forward. Put your shed up this time, but trust me when I tell you, and I know this firsthand, sheds are work. You gotta paint them, and they're not permanent. You're gonna put it on stone, you're gonna get groundhogs underneath it. I've seen it firsthand. So, we've eliminated some sheds at the Phillipsburg School District. Our old batting cage, we put a building up there with 3 separate doors on it, one for football, one for track, and one for the gym classes that go out there. But again, it's a permanent structure. We put it up, we put some electric in it, we sided it, put a roof on, and we're good to go now for a number of years. I know I'll never deal with it again. But it may be time going forward to take a look at something like that.
Would you consider restrooms?
Yeah, and again, listen, everything takes money. Is it the top priority? No, I think roads in this township should be our top priority at this point. If you drive around, they're a mess. But it's just a vision that I see. Obviously, the pavilion is probably getting close to 50 years old itself, so the bathrooms need to be redone. You've got something going up there with that park, because there are people starting to show up there. It's a very pleasurable experience. We've all been up there. I've seen Lou up there. I've seen the mayor up there. Joe, Bill and I were up to the night out last night. It's just a nice thing. That's the kind of stuff you need to promote your township, where people can get out and see what's going on. So it may behoove us to start taking a look.
I agree. I go up to, when I don't have a meeting of music at the park, and there might be 50 people watching the music, listen to the music, but I see people jogging and walking about and doing other things. My thought was to have some kind of a master plan for the park going forward. And
Yep.
we have other space we could use. We have space we could use differently. We need more facilities and maybe phase the thing and prioritize it. And
Part of my delusions of grandeur from 10, 15 years ago were the fact that we expanded that park, because there were supposed to be 50-some homes where that park now sits, and we just simply switched the areas, the sewer use areas, as you remember. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you have 120 acres with the high school there, and I believe we have around 85 acres in that park. So you've got well over 200 acres of manicured open space available to all of our residents and our kids. So it's a good thing. Is it our top priority? No, I don't think so, but it certainly can be taken a look at.
it's certainly something we offer that many, many other towns can't.
Yeah, we're off to a good start. We need to tweak it a little bit. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Lori Chaplow, 12 Meadowview Drive. Expounding on what Jim had said, I know the veterans are also interested in doing some additional work at the park, and so has Recreation, as we've talked over the years, trying to do things. And one of the things that we were trying to do this year was do the RFPs. Now, for Community Day, we managed to find a way to build up a sponsorship so that people can just donate money based on the tiers, and I think you should all have a copy in your mailbox. So this way, you can choose what you want to donate, so we didn't have to go out for RFPs for that. We have been talking at our recreation meetings, though, however, about possibly this year trying to at least, even if we do it later in the fall and going into next year, looking to do some quick hit. One of the things we'd love to do, if you've been to movies at the pool, is every night we have the movies, we drag out all the equipment and then we put it all back and it's on loan from the school. It would be nice if we could get a sound system for the pool, and they have, nowadays everything's Bluetooth. We wouldn't even have to run the wires, because we do have a lot of wires there. That's why we canceled tonight, because we have way too many wires in the grass and it's very wet. So we were looking to do something like that. So we might be coming before you. We're going to get some prices and see what it is and go over things like that. But I agree with Mr. Mengucci that there's so many people at the park now. And Joe, every time we're there, we sit there, we're watching movies. There's kids at the pool. Then we have the movies at the pool. There's kids practicing cheerleading. There's kids playing basketball. The softball league is playing. People are just walking around. So it would be nice to have some permanent structures up there, but if we could, I like both your idea of the master plan for the park. Certainly throw everything on there that you want, and then
I was going to say, last Wednesday seemed to be a busy day. Everything
football
going on. Workout, the cheerleaders, everything. So.
But it's nice, because when you're sitting up there, it's beautiful, especially up by the Veterans Rally Point, where there is a much nicer breeze up there than there is down by the pool, as we find as we're traversing across the park. So it is, we could definitely do that, and I think it would get a lot of use. So if you guys do start a committee, Recreation, and I'm sure the veterans would love to help, because, Bill Nixon has the same concerns and ideas. As far as Recreation goes, our Community Day is Saturday, August 26th, with a rain date of August 27th. Luckily, I know Bernie was on vacation, so all my bills for Community Day will be coming in for the special meeting on August 17th, which will be plenty of time. We'll be going from 1 to 9. Once we get everything settled and set in stone, I'll send you guys the schedule, but hopefully you can all come out. The only other thing, LAA, President Lutz was on vacation. He will get your contract back. There have been the one thing the directors asked was that they could just see it before they gave him the final blessing to sign it, and they're good with that. They just, he's been on vacation. And I know he'll be happy to hear about the field house renovations before football. That's good. The only other thing I have is just on a personal level, as a resident. I know there's a lot of work going on at Strikers Road. I don't know if they have a plan, and I know Paul's not here today, so I don't want to...
I
don't know.
Comment.
What is the final, once they're done, how much patching are they going to do on the road?
Well, that was approved. I'm sure they're going to patch the trench permanently, and that'll be, whatever they disturb, they're gonna fix.
Okay.
They're gonna mill it over, yeah.
They're gonna mill it.
Patch to the existing surface
Okay.
now, so. in the
But just
2
what,
weeks-
just the disturbed area?
Currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna do the whole road.
Right,
I
right.
believe they're gonna come back later and mill and overlay.
Oh, they are, okay.
I don't believe the whole road, but.
But just where they are, so it'll be level again?
Correct.
Okay. All right, I just had some of my neighbors were just asking. Because of course, every day it's a new, it's a new adventure going down
It was a funny project. They got that approved at the planning board, and then they abandoned it, and they actually put in a septic tank, and then they changed their mind, and the next thing you know, they were back, and it was kind of a stealth project, the way, at least to some of us, the way it came back.
Right.
So.
As long as they're gonna patch over it, we'll be good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but Paul and his firm have been on top of it.
They've been on top of it, okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay, take a motion to close audience participation.
Motion?
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye.
We're going back into an executive.
We are?
Yes. We discussed it in executive, we're going back.
Okay. All right, we'll adjourn the open meeting.
No,
What?
you don't adjourn it, you just make a motion to go into executive session,
I'll make a motion. to go
discuss
into
personnel,
executive session.
potential litigation.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
We will probably be in executive session for half an hour. No action is expected, but there is possible action, so you're welcome to wait in the hall, and we'll let you know when we come back. If we will take more than a half an hour, I will come out and give you a better estimate. You need a motion to come back into regular session.
Motion to come back into regular session. Lou?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, and now council wants to make a motion to authorize the settlement discussed in executive session, contingent upon the agreement of the insurance company, and they want it on the record that this settlement is being accepted based upon the recommendation of the township attorney, the township's risk manager, and the township insurance company. Well, the settlement will be subject over, so it has all the parties in it. I think that's it.
So you need a motion? Motion, please?
Motion.
Second?
We already did that, right?
Oh,
Yes.
vote.
Right.
So you need to vote.
Okay.
Councilman Delcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
No.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes.
Now you can adjourn. Now you can adjourn.
That's only 9:30, we can do 2 bit. Yeah, motion to adjourn, I'll take. Does anyone want to make that motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.